back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. The camera is off here, and I'll do it like this, and then we'll have to fix it when we actually do the news. We're gonna do the news, but do you know what we're gonna do first? We're gonna sang.
You know, I got a jam-packed show for you today. I have a lot to cover. The impeachment hearings for Donald Trump went really well for Trump, not so well for the Democrats. I have all the highlights you didn't know you wanted to see.
What I keep thinking is the Democrats no good, something, horrible, rotten,
very bad week.
Very bad week. Yeah, that one. What is that? Like some kid's book or something? Like that's what kept going in my head.
Alexander and then very bad, horrible, no bad, whatever.
How do you know that?
It's just a kid's book. I just know it.
Well, that's what it's been like to watch this.
Yeah.
It's been like watching a cat like go into a mirror, like just bang its head.
But this week was incredibly boring. I mean, Tucker was boring, and then
hang on, they're telling me the mic's still not working. Oh, I know what it is. It's not that the mic isn't working. It's on the wrong microphone. So here we go.
All right. So
this week in news, as far as the impeachment goes, it was boring. This week news was not actually boring. I have a lot of fantastic stories to give to you, to bring to you guys, stuff that you didn't see maybe this week because it was hidden because of the impeachment stupidity. We also want to talk to you guys. Today is the anniversary of JFK's death.
56 years.
56 years, and we just finished. I'm actually, to be completely honest, I'm like 2 pages away from finishing.
The Treasonous Cabal by Betty Jones.
I was shocked as he summed up the book.
Hang on, I haven't finished it yet. Listen.
It's history. You'll be fine. It's our whole show. I have to tell you. It's my whole half of the show. And I already told you this. The deep state was created around the same time as JFK. Mm-hmm. So you have the FBI and the CIA who worked together to cover up the assassination, to create the assassination. There are so many points when you look at the JFK assassination, you know, who did it, who had something to gain from it besides, you know, Herbert Hoover and Lyndon B. Johnson, who was as corrupt as all get out. I mean, he ran his congressional races in Texas and was paying off a local district to give him more votes. I mean, this guy was just power hungry. So then you had the mafia, the Chicago mafia, who lost. I mean, the mafia. They say that the FBI, you know, shut down the mafia. No, the mafia shut down because Cuba shut them down. Right. They were bringing in their millions because they were running sex trafficking and casinos down in, you know, drugs. Havana and in Cuba. So with that shut down, that's kind of how the mafia really shut down. And then you have, and then like most of this book that our friends,
we call him Uncle Barry,
our Uncle Barry now, has written, and I'm gonna bring it up so you guys can see it. Treasonous Cabal.
I'll go get it.
Is the 3/4 of about the sheep
dipping? Did you bring it down?
I did. I have it here somewhere. The sheep dipping of Lee Harvey Oswald, and you know, even the
what does sheep dipping mean? Just for those that may not know.
Well, it means to set somebody up as a patsy.
To mark a sheep.
Yeah, but basically they set him up.
Yep.
And he,
so that when you see a herd of animals, of sheep, the one that's been marked, you can easily identify.
There you go. And so he was set up, and he was the fall guy. And obviously, you know, there's a reason why the grassy knoll has become a symbol of, you know, conspiracy, but it's not a theory, it's a fact.
Right.
That later on they had to do a congressional investigation, a second one into the shooting deaths of JFK, because nobody believed that there's such a thing as a magic bullet that could create 7 wounds and spin
one bullet
and turn in midair twice, and then end
up.
You
mean the American public didn't buy that one?
So there had to be, and so there was a camera footage that later came out that had to be sued. The Time magazine got it from the guy who, and I have all the names written down, the guy who was filming from the grassy knoll. Time magazine bought it, and then somebody investigating something else, had to get the rights to it, and then now we have it. And if you want to know if Dan Rather's been corrupt from the beginning, he said, oh, we saw his head go forward, where actually they had to come back and say, oh, we got that wrong. His head went back. His head went back because the grassy knoll was in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the library building was behind, so, you know, the whole two shooters thing is not just a plausibility, it's the only answer. Because he was, and then the original photos, you can see them side by side, that the coroner had of JFK showed his brain kind of together, but witnesses said that his brain was, you know, exploded, which would have meant it was behind something through the head first and then out big.
Yeah.
And then there was a second picture, you can see his brains exploded. I don't know how many times I was JFK's brains in my head over and over again. I now have the full picture in my head of his brains. But when you look at how the CIA had Lee Harvey Oswald under their wing, sending him over to Russia, bringing him back, where after he defected to Russia, and these are bullet points for if you're a conspiracy theorist, you know all these things.
Right.
I had not studied JFK. It's just, I mean, oh my gosh, you're a conspiracy theorist and you haven't really studied JFK. No, really haven't. But I've studied the deep state in other ways, but not necessarily the whole kit and caboodle of the JFK conspiracy theory, which is mostly fact, but how you put those facts together is still a theory. But you do know that the Texas coroners didn't get to examine the body. He was whisked away on Air Force One, and his body was underwent an examination by 3 top military brass who weren't professional coroners, who weren't able to identify. I mean, they just messed. They covered it. It was all a huge cover up.
Right.
And so when you see the FBI and the CIA working so hard to, I know, it just I had it in my hand. No, it was on the couch. It was down. I didn't take it up.
Oh.
It's underneath the hat.
Underneath the hat. I hit it. Well, I just wanted to show them the book and to get them excited that Uncle Barry is going to be on our show. I wanted to have him on for tonight so that we could have it on the anniversary, but we've been busy. So this is the book that I want you guys to all read. Put my bookmark upside down.
Oops.
So we were having a competition actually reading it. Leah and I were with our different bookmarks. So
I think I definitely
you came and beat me because you were slacking off around here, being lazy, sitting around reading while I was slaving like Cinderella.
I'm sure that's what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
No, it was awesome. It's a fantastic book, but what just was shocking to me was not shocking that the same FBI that went after JFK and covered up, and then you had a period of like assassination nation. Bobby Kennedy assassinated, JFK, Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated. So much that the people were wondering what's with all the assassinations, and Congress had to have a literal committee on assassinations. And we know from the vault, from the JFK vault, that Martin Luther King Jr. was sent a letter from the FBI saying, go kill yourself.
Right. Or was it the CIA?
That was the FBI. That was the FBI. And we know that the CIA, and then they don't have time to go into making of cancer weapons.
That's one of the things I do want Uncle Barry to talk about on our show when he comes on. Is that, because that's really, really fascinating, and I think you should probably leave that.
And what I love about Uncle Barry's book, man, are the documents and the pictures.
Yeah, he cites everything. You can't really see that very well on.
Well, that one is Lee Harvey Oswald's body post autopsy. Remember, you can't loose lips sink ships, but dead men don't talk. And here, Jack Ruby. Now, this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing.
Let me do it.
We know that the mafia was in with the CIA and the FBI. Why in the world would a guy, Jack Ruby, known mafia guy, why in the world would he go up and shoot Lee Harvey Oswald point blank, knowing that they are going to, knowing that he'll go straight to jail?
I know.
unless they had something crazy on him. It's all connected. So anyways, we need to shut down the ABC alphabets. The CIA has not done any. Name one thing that the CIA has done that's good.
Well, a lot of movies have been made about them that are fascinating since then, like, just different conspiracy type movies. And I think that that's really fascinating.
The CIA has not done one thing good for our country. They literally is a government agency created by bureaucrats who want to kill people and take over government.
So we're going to get into this later in the show, or is this going to be your segment on it?
Kind of my segment, I guess.
Okay, so this is your segment because you wanted to start out with singing.
I did, but then I
know it's too exciting.
But then it's all flowing together. And the reason I did, my brain goes in like 500 different levels.
You're like Kanye.
I get a stream of consciousness, but even my consciousness doesn't flow like his. I've been reading the JFK book. Mm-hmm. It lines up perfectly with what the FBI we know is doing to Donald Trump. Our show is going to kind of go backwards.
Right.
Okay. No, they're doing it.
Good. Yeah.
They literally are doing it. And
I'm trying to make the door open for hope at the end. Yes, they are doing it. You're 100% correct. What I mean is Kennedy died. Trump is not.
Okay, so that's not where I was going. The big parts came in not only just during the assassination, but after the assassination and the cover up on purpose and lying to the American people over and over again. And like once you're in the CIA, you can't get out because they've done too much. They've done too much.
And you know all of their secrets. That's why you can't get out of the gang.
There's like connected to in the investigations of the assassinations, there's like 108 people that died, and then over 85% of them died with suicide behind the left ear. That's a thing. That's one of the he lists all the different crazy deaths.
Right.
Chopped to death by an axe. I mean, just getting hit by a random truck. I mean, and the CIA specializes, though, in trying to make deaths look accidental or on purpose or natural causes. Right. That's where the cancer gun came through, and the cancer weapon was created to go down. The CIA is no good at anything. I may have gotten behind them taking out Castro. The one person who's literally a stone's throw away from our country, they couldn't take out Fidel Castro. They are horribly inept or purposefully inept at their jobs.
Purposefully inept.
Okay, and the mafia tried to get JFK in because hoping JFK would be able to get Cuba back by taking out Castro. This was not in any way for the Cubans to overthrow communism.
So who killed Kennedy? And the answer isn't obviously Lee Harvey Oswald, but like who was behind it? You've got the mob, the mafia, because like Leah just said, they actually wanted JFK in on it. You've got LBJ, who wanted to be president and hated having to line up become VP,
in the shadow
second
of
seat
JFK.
there. And then you've got, of course, the deep state, who doesn't like that Kennedy is kind of
thwarting their
plans.
I mean, and the big thing was the Bay of Pigs was a huge debacle, and the CIA they were going to overthrow Castro, and then at the very last minute, JFK pulls out, and they were mad. Right? And then there's the video, which we probably should play, where JFK says, you guys know there's like this deep state, there's this treasonous cabal, there's this underground group of people who are controlling everything. Do you know this? And then he gets shot, and then he's killed.
Right.
And that is why, as soon as Donald Trump was elected, that's why we're going to cover the Ukraine. Did you know that the Ukraine, how much money is in the world? How much money in these countries that there are lots of... How do I say this? I have a list of all the countries who donated to the Clinton Foundation. I'm going to give you one guess as to the country that donated the most to the Clinton Foundation. I'm going to tell you what it was. Ukraine.
You didn't
Ukraine.
Let me guess.
No, I know. Ukraine is it's like a hyperlink of corruption. It's a seed. It's a bed of corruption. Mm-hmm. And we don't think much about the Ukraine. So what the Democrats have done is they know that when Donald Trump was elected, that the promise to drain the swamp, they were afraid of that. So they knew they had to go on the I don't know if that's the one where he says. No, I don't think so. Because he says that there's a deep state speech. I don't know.
Go ahead, keep talking.
And so we have what's happening here with this whole Ukrainian thing is they're playing their hands. They're saying we're corrupt. We have our hands in the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you might have to duck go it because sometimes they're not on the. You know what I mean? Sometimes the deep state covers them. So I have a lot to cover. But I wanted to bring you guys, and I know we do this backwards. If you guys are into the Christian thing, you're not into the singing, then you can come back in about 20 minutes. But I wanted to start out with hope, I guess. And usually after you guys ask for a song at the end, but we've gone through so much news and we're kind of like mentally drained that it's hard to pick it up and praise God. So I'm hoping that by going backwards, we can cover the news through the light and the lens of Jesus Christ. So this week, Kanye West, last Sunday, he did a Joel Osteen service. And secret societies, that's it.
It's 20 minutes long. So
I wish you could just find the one spot.
Go to it.
Well, now you know what to Google. The secret society. Maybe give a smaller.
No. This
clip.
is it. That's the only one that's coming up.
Oh, well, poop. All right.
And
that's okay. He said there's a.
Hang on, this might be it. I can go to it. Hang on.
Okay.
Wait, I've got noise coming on here anyway. Wait a minute.
I got noise. We got noise. Okay, we make lamb. We say that all the time. It's a line from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's hilarious. Okay, we make lamb.
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Who am I? Okay.
Today, no war has been declared. And however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion. Our way of life is under attack. Those who make themselves our enemy are advancing around the globe. The survival of our friends is in danger. And yet no war has been declared. No borders have been crossed by marching troops. No missiles have been fired. If the press is awaiting a declaration of war before it imposes the self-discipline of combat conditions, then I can only say that no war ever posed a greater threat to our security. If you are awaiting a finding of clear and present danger, then I can only say that the danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent. It requires a change in outlook, a change in tactics, a change in missions by the government, by the people, by every businessman or labor leader, and by every newspaper. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. It conducts the Cold War in short. With a wartime discipline, no democracy would ever hope or wish to match.
There's actually more to that deep state speech, but you get the idea. That's why JFK was assassinated.
Right.
Okay? He got too close. His dad was very corrupt, and he knew, like Donald Trump, he saw the corruption up close. You know, you had Frank Sinatra even in on it. I mean, there's a lot of corruption.
Getting him elected.
Yeah, well, and then also getting messages back and forth. He was in on the corruption.
Right.
And, excuse me, I have to take my shoes off. I know. It's my show. I can take them off. All right. Now I need something to make me higher.
That's right. I'll take my shoes off too, and then I'll come down a notch there.
But God is bigger, and there is an even deeper state, and it's the Christian state. And you can know what God is going to do. You can know what the enemy is going to do, and you can thwart the enemy by getting into the power of God and getting into the presence of God. And I want to make a little note here. Make sure that your inner circle doesn't have any enemies in it, because that's what got JFK killed. Mm-hmm. His inner circle, he was too close to all of the enemies. Yep. His heart and his life was too open to the bad guys. And he did not have the power of God to surround him. And he didn't have people praying for him like Donald Trump has people praying for him. Yeah. And Donald Trump he didn't get elected by the deep state.
Exactly.
JFK was elected by the deep state. His dad is the deep state, right? And so make sure that your inner circle is following God and has your best interest at heart.
That's really good.
Because you can allow the enemy in not even knowing it. Okay? Not even knowing it. The enemy can't touch you unless you let him in, if you are surrounded by the power of God. So the biggest trick that the enemy thought he could do, who was Judas? Judas was in the inner 12. Satan wants to get in, now obviously it's a plan of God, right? Mm-hmm. But Satan wants to get in your inner circle. That's a word for somebody today. I don't do this very often. That's a word for somebody. Okay. Satan wants to get into your inner circle, and there are people in your life that he's trying to manipulate to get into your inner circle, to speak into your life, so that you're distracted from the plan of God for your life. So you're distracted from the victory that God had. And you can know this. If you're talking positive news and you're talking about Jesus and they're not with you, put them outside of your inner circle. Yeah. Doesn't mean you have to kick them out of your life.
Right.
Don't put them into your inner circle. Your inner circle speaks into you. Don't allow people into you to speak into you. JFK allowed different people to speak into him, taking advice from all these people.
And but it's really plain and simple, so it doesn't even have to be a word from the Lord, because we see it happen to Trump. Every single person in his life that is in his inner circle, that's where the weakness, the enemy is able to get right behind that armor, because it's an open spot.
All these people in the State Department worked under Trump that testified against him.
Under Obama.
But they're working for Trump right now.
Right.
And I keep tweeting out, Trump, fire everyone. Hold open interviews and rehire people. Look at their social media. Have they taken social media bullets for you? Have they been supporting you for the last 2 years? Only then can you be hired.
Right.
Okay? Only then. You've got to be mega or you don't get in. And I mean fire everybody. I mean, this thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
Our government literally is going to save a ton of money for a short time. Ambassadors, State Department, secretaries of state, all these people, everybody, just fire everyone.
Get them all gone.
We're literally taking the next year to hire all new mega people, and hire the best mega people you could find. And so, like, all of Twitter is going to go work for the White House, because that's where you're going to find them. Right. And so this is my idea, Trump. You've got to have people in your inner circle who have your vision, who have the vision. He doesn't have to agree with you on everything, but have the vision. They want you to succeed.
I don't think a single person should be in the White House or on the staff or working for a staffer.
Like Eric Charmella?
Yeah, unless they're a mega person. I mean, this has to go all the way down the line.
All these never Trumpers being broad.
Trump is great at saying you're fired, says Jim West. You got that right.
That's what I thought. I mean, that's totally an anointing that he has.
You're fired.
He just feels power when he'll find some guys. And what he needs to do is, I know he can't do it. He needs to get people like a Charlie Kirk or Candace Owens or Rand Paul. Okay, people that you know that you can trust. And you're like, help me fill these positions.
Sure.
You vet these people for me, because I can't vet thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But the problem is that for all of time, the people in positions, 99% of them are bad.
Yeah.
But supposedly you have to have people of experience in those positions. Their only experience is corruption, especially in the Ukraine. They never did anything about this corruption in the Ukraine. They're on the take. They're on the money train.
No help than anti-help.
Exactly.
People that are trying to subvert you.
Exactly.
In everything that you're doing.
Exactly. I mean, I even say I don't trust Steve Bannon as far as I can throw him, but have Steve Bannon come in and hire people. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Okay, so we're going to sing some songs.
Sing song, sing song.
But what I want to do is I want to play this because back to Kanye West. Kanye West did a Sunday service at Joel Osteen's church.
You want me to play part of that?
You can.
Well,
That's part of the news.
How much show
yeah, if
how
you
much
got,
time
do you have
you
a clip? I got
Yeah.
a time. It's my show. It's your show. We can do this.
Okay.
This is what people want. It's part of the news this week.
Joel Osteen had Kanye West come and do a Sunday service in the evening last Sunday.
Which was amazing.
It was 3 hours long. You can watch it on Joel Osteen's channel. Now, as a disclaimer, Lee and I are not Joel Osteen fans at all. Now,
That's an understatement.
Joel had Kanye and his family come to service on Sunday morning and had Kanye come up and he spoke with him for about 20 minutes.
But you're going to play just a little bit of it.
I'm just going to play something that we can find here that's worthy of sharing.
Hey everybody, come on, let's welcome Mr. Kanye West today.
Manager says, how much traffic do we have? So if it's a man that's going through things with his family or going through, in this studio, it's going to compare to places that you're in life where people tell you to quiet your voice and not talk about Jesus, so loud, but everything else is so loud around us. When I'm in California or when I'm in Vegas, they got posters up advertising, sex trafficking. Because if there's an advertisement for a strip club, that is advertising sex trafficking, because at the end of the night, when they close up, the manager says, how much traffic do we have? So if it's a man that's going through things with his family or going through things at work and he feels he has to go there, we all end up participating, whether it's the spirits that get advertised to us all the time. Alcohol they call it a spirit. So we get constant advertisement for spirits. We get constant advertisement for strip clubs and other things like that. But then we bring up the name of Jesus, we're told to be quiet, quiet that down. So even for someone who's professing God and saying, this is going to be a gospel album, the devil's going to come and do everything he can to distract people from knowing how to fully be in service to the Lord. And all of that arrogance and confidence and cockiness that y'all seen me use before, God is now using for him. Is going to change. Jesus has won the victory. Because now I told you about my arrogance and cockiness already. Now, the greatest artist that God has ever created is now working for him. And esteem, so responsibility for me to become more like my mother who's gone to heaven, and more like my father who's working and building a water purification center in the DR. With rappers, there's so many things that we've done where to maintain the idea of coolness, we have our own daughters and we'll still be rapping about trying to hook up with somebody's daughter.
Yep.
Like not taking the responsibility as a man. That's why I say the song Closed on Sunday is the hardest record ever made. It's hard as the NWA record, because it's talking about protecting your kids from the indoctrination of the media, the thousands and thousands of images that are fed to children by the age of 6 or 7. And within those images, there are images mixed in that we don't know about as parents that are purposely mixed in to lower the kids' superpower and esteem so that they can be more susceptible to consumption and feel that they need to consume and become a part of the robotic numeric system that controls so much of the media. I just had to say it like this. You can rewind it and then do.
Okay.
You can watch the whole
that's
thing.
literally the red pill movement. That's the moment I wanted to get to you guys. That's the moment even Paul Joseph Watson wrote a whole article about it, talking about the producers and everybody who have and the media and Hollywood. They've put in, and I'm sure he's been watching like Disney, pedophile stuff. You know what I mean? Like once you get red pilled.
Yep.
We talk about the red pill and then the black pill and the white pill, and he's been white pilled. So I wanted to give you a visual because this is the visual that the Lord gave me today. I don't know if you guys have heard about the endochroma glasses, and you have like millions and millions of views of colorblind people, which there's millions of in the country, like different in the
different levels and
in
stuff.
the world. Some people can just see black and white. Some people can just see just dull colors. And what happens when Kanye West says when you're asleep and then you're awake, that's the difference. I love this visual because you can see the people. Like it's actually when the world is in black and white, and when you come to know Jesus and you begin to see like all the red pilled stuff, everything's in color, and that's so much different than just being red pilled. That's literally seeing life and seeing hope around every corner. So now you're going to be so much more appreciative. So I'm going to play a couple of these behind me of these people getting these glasses who have been colorblind. Let's turn this back on here.
Chris.
What?
Oh my God. Look at the balloons.
They give these people these colored balloons. It's awesome!
I gotta make sure you guys can see that.
Maybe they can't see it very well.
Well, that's all right.
Oh my God.
They get the
This is
idea.
crazy.
Walk out there in the light.
Look at my pants. Blue jeans, right?
Look at the trees, he said.
That's incredible. Surprise! New sunglasses. Special sunglasses for Daddy. So you
Move
can
your
see your
cursor off that
flowers.
way.
Tell your mom.
So I'm already like ready to cry anyway.
Look at the flowers. Show them your flowers. Hey guys, give your daddy a hug.
So make sure we don't get our clothes wet.
I love you. I'm guessing they're working.
I think
And then this guy, this one was harder to see, but he gets really emotional too.
So cool. I kind of want to. They work. Are they working, honey?
Yep.
He's like, "Where's my food?"
This guy sees his girlfriend's red hair for the first time.
This what?
She's like, go look at other things. Go look at the other things.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, look at all the things.
So it goes up and looks at the flowers.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
Is it like these buds?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was describing red, and he's like, is it like these buds?
Oh my gosh. Are they working? Oh my god.
And then their family members start to cry.
I know.
Because they're seeing in color.
Exactly.
Because they're seeing what they've
Right.
always seen.
Right.
And this is the essence of Christianity for me, guys.
Right.
When you have a family member or a friend who comes to know Jesus and their
Yeah.
eyes are opened, look, and Mom's like, you can see what I have been able to see. I've wanted you to see this your entire life. You know?
Oh, I can really see them now. Can you? I could not see those at all. Wow, there they are. Oh my god.
That's so
Okay,
awesome.
so I want to start singing a little bit. I'm going to cancel my printing there. And so when you're lost and then you're found, when you're asleep and then you're awake, when you're colorblind and you see color,
Right.
right? And so the vision that we have been given, and we're going to cover news. We have a whole another hour after 7 to 8, we can do the news. Because there's a lot of good news, a lot of bad news that we're going to turn around to be good. That's what we're seeing is an awakening. And kind of revival has been a little bit overused.
Right.
Awakening is such a better term, isn't it?
Well, but the reason why I'm going with revival is because that's what God told Serge, and I like it.
Okay, well,
We can do both, though. It's a revival, and then it's an awakening.
I
It depends on
wasn't
what
even
you're talking
thinking
about.
that. I was just talking about
No,
it.
I know. I'm just saying. I love it. It's an awakening.
The awakening is the one, is the word I was given. It's
Yeah.
the same word for everybody. It's a different word for everybody. Awakening. Darkness to light.
Well,
Sleep
because
to
that's
awake.
what Kanye had said when he was talking to James Corden, and James said, for the haters, for those that are saying this isn't really real, this isn't, what do you say to them? And his response was, well, you know when you're asleep that you're asleep, and when you're awake, and he's like, yeah. And he goes, I was asleep and now I'm awake. I guess we'll be back on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, cover UK news. We got a lot to cover. There's so many
We
videos
do,
out right
and
now.
you know what I would really like to do, and I know everybody would get upset if we did this, but and we won't do this, but it's my ideal. It's gonna rain tomorrow. Sunday's gonna be beautiful. I would love to pre-record tomorrow's show on Saturday and just premiere it at 1 p.m. on Sunday, so we can be outside doing stuff because we have a lot to catch up on. So we shall see. God knows.
I don't know. If we could actually do a live show and then replay it on Sunday.
Right? Could do it. Yeah.
And people be like,
And that they show up, it's just there premiering. That would be great. All right, so we love you. God loves you. Remember,
it's not just a conspiracy theory thing. Set up JFK, this treasonous cabal, and they're trying to do it to Trump.
right?
But God's will not.
But
let
God will
them.
get the glory for raising the dead.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see you guys back here on Sunday, either premiered or whatever. Maybe we'll do a show tomorrow. Who knows? All right, I'm pressing the ending here. Thank you for the letter, Simon, and thank you for the ham, Robert Bone. I'm very excited about that, like really excited about it. So God bless, and I'm pressing the ending right now. Bye, guys.
was cold, all alone. No place to home every day, so afraid. But you called my name.